I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A Flagler Beach woman is back behind bars just days after her initial arrest for running a drug house. John Arking reports.
Just 5 days after being arrested during a narcotics search warrant, 36-year-old Jamie Bullock was rearrested Wednesday by the Flagler County Sheriff's Office after detectives obtained an arrest warrant for sale of cocaine and unlawful use of a two-way communications device. About 3:30 Wednesday afternoon, detectives pulled over Bullock after observing her leaving her residence on Lantana Avenue. Authorities say Bullock actively resisted arrest but was subsequently taken into custody by deputies. Sheriff Rick Staley says even while being arrested, Bullock had drug paraphernalia in her hands and threw it under her car to try and hide it from deputies. Bullock was additionally charged with resisting arrest without violence, tampering with or fabricating physical evidence, and possession of drug paraphernalia. She was transported to the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility, where she's being held on a $55,000 bond. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arking.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
Youth care workers from across the state were celebrated in Palm Coast yesterday. Mayor Melissa Holland gave the welcome speech at the annual meeting of the members of the Florida Network of Youth and Family Services. At the Hammock Beach Resort, Holland spoke of how crucial their work is to struggling families and applauded their dedication and service. Nearly 30 agencies make up the network that aims to get at-risk youth and their families on a better path for success.
Has anybody ever said to you, I'm thinking about killing myself?
That, those in the healthcare and law enforcement communities say, is a cry for help. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley says that's where the Baker Act comes in. He says if somebody tells you that they want to kill themselves, take it seriously and call his office.
Now, there's criteria before we can Baker Act, so if they don't meet that criteria, then we're not going to be able to pick them up. Criteria, in a nutshell, is they have to be a threat to do bodily harm to themselves or someone else.
Staley said that while the Baker Act is not an arrest, a person is handcuffed for the safety of the deputy, since that person might get violent. The person can then be held involuntarily at a facility like Halifax for a 72-hour observation. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
A Flagler County Sheriff's Office chief graduates from the Florida Sheriff's Association's prestigious Commanders Academy. Sheriff Rick Staley says Chris Seppi will now be a next-generation leader, better prepared to serve in the Community Policing Division. During his time at the Academy, Seppi took several courses on management, leadership, and ethics. His class also raised more than $42,000 for the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches, which prevents delinquency among juveniles. Sheriff Staley is on the board of the organization. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.